few more minutes on the Guardians. I know we didn't get enough of it earlier. Disappointing loss, but they're not dead. Down 2-0. None of us think they're dead completely, right? They still have a great chance. May not be the right word.
I said last night I give them a 33% chance to win this series, which is higher than most teams in that situation. They've got to take this day off to reset and get back to playing like they have for much of this season and much of the ALDS. The Yankees are good. I get it. They're better than the Tigers. We all understand that. This is not a all-time Yankee team. It's a good team. It's a very good team, just like the Guardians are. But they got to get back to what made the Guardians special. Bullpen, defense, base running, and Jose and Naylor being clutch. That's got to happen. And with the way Rocchio and it's so frustrating that Ramirez and Naylor haven't hit for the most part because Rocchio and Kwan right before them have been so good that there's been base runners consistently for those guys.
To that point, I'll say if you had the numbers that Kwan and Rocchio have put up, and you showed me those numbers, here's where these two guys are after game 2.
Right.
I would say one thing about that. Well, if Jose and Josh return to Jose and Josh, then we're up 2-0.
Yeah.
Because you're getting production from a place where you didn't expect it. The worst part of that is we're not getting production from places that we demanded.
That's right.
Those guys have to be great. Why are the Yankees up 2-0? Stanton has a home run. Soto has a home run. And Judge has a home run. Their Paul Bunyans have been Paul Bunyan.
Right.
They're pitching. Rodon was great. Okay. We could have won that game.
Yeah.
It was lost in the third inning when we walked 4 guys and threw 4 wild pitches.
Right.
Well, what the hell do you expect is going to happen?
They had Tim Hill, their relief pitcher, the lefty side armor.
Yeah.
By the way, he looks like the guy who was mowing my lawn the other day. I mean,
when they kept taking the close-up of his face, I'm like, that guy looks 50.
Yeah, I know, it's weird. But, they made him look like a Hall of Famer.
Well, because they swung at balls that were out of the strike zone.
My gosh. I mean, that guy had been cut. The Yankees picked him up off of waivers.
Yeah, I know.
And they just, the discipline that we used to from this team, both offensively and defensively, has disappeared in this series.
Yeah.
If they get back to what they are and what they're capable of, then yes, they can come back. And as I said before, if they keep playing sloppy, they're going to lose.
I'm with you. I think because historically it's a 15% chance.
Right. So 33 is high.
The Yankees once upon a time, I know, different manager, different players, same pinstripes. The Yankees once upon a time led a series 3-0. And then Dave Roberts stole a base. Mm-hmm. And then the longest World Series drought was snapped.
Yep.
So
that's right.
If it can be done to the Yankees with a stolen base in Game 4 when it looks like all hope was lost, even Red Sox fans, diehard Red Sox fans, had thrown in the towel. They went on to win the next 4 with Tito as their manager, and then they broke the long-standing World Series drought. Right now, the longest-standing World Series drought belongs to us. Here's the way you have to approach this, and I hope this is what Stephen Vogt said either in the clubhouse after the loss or on the flight to Cleveland last night, which had to feel like it was a 100-hour flight. You get up in front of the group, and here's what you say. Guys, we now have a series of 1-game seasons. We are now playing a series of Game 7s.
Yeah.
You can't bring it even 2-2 until you win Game 3. So you're not looking at we've got to do 4 out of 5. You can't look at it that way. Now, on the bright side, the Yankees 6 times this year have gone on skids where they've lost 4 of 5.
Yeah.
That's good. Don't look at it in the macro. Look at it in the micro. Just as you do within a game, at bat to at bat, inning to inning. Mm-hmm. Now it has to more than ever be looked at game to game. We got Game 7 at home against the Yankees. You like our chances? You win. Ahead of Game 4, guys, how lucky are we? Game 7 against the Yankees at home. You win. Now Game 5 is Game 7 at home against the Yankees.
That's right.
You can't win the series if you don't take care of business in Games 3, 4, and 5.
One game at a time. That's it.
One at a time.
That's it.
It is very doable. I like your number of 33%.
Yeah.
Look, I'm not being idiot Jay here. I'm still saying it is a long road. And it is an unlikely road to be traveled.
Right.
But it is not impossible. It is not 0-3.
No.
It's 0-2. And it very much can be flipped around. You're going to have to win one game in New York. It doesn't have to be game 1 or 2. It can be game 7.
Let's repeat history. In 2007, that was the last time that the Guardians, at the time the Indians, beat the Yankees in the playoffs. Last time they beat them in the playoffs was 2007. What happened after that playoff series? Joe Torre, one of the greatest managers ever, was fired.
Imagine
because
that.
They expected to win that series. It didn't happen.
Yeah.
If the Guardians come back and win this series, Aaron Boone is probably going to be fired.
In all likelihood, he'll be out of a job.
Yes. So let's make it happen again. Let's get Aaron Boone fired. Let's win this series and take care of business.
And I don't need to say this, but I'll say it anyhow. Progressive Field has to be Yankee Stadium. It has to, and it will be.
Oh, yeah.
It will be.
Yeah.
And, obviously it's like, of course, it's, Captain Obvious, you've got to score first. If they get on the board first, then now there's a light glimmering through the end of that tunnel. If they go up 5-0 like they did, or take a big lead like they did in Game 5, all of a sudden that place becomes a powder keg, just like Yankee Stadium.
Right.
And it can be very hard to overcome that.
Don't sell
The
your
Yankees
tickets to
are
Yankee
human.
fans.
The Yankees are human.
Yes.
The guy that scares me is Juan Soto. He terrifies me.
I thought it was the right call, intentionally walking Soto.
We-
as great as Judge is,
we all agreed.
it was the right call.
Yeah.
It loads the bases, and Soto's hotter right now. I just thought that. I know it seems crazy to walk somebody in front of Judge.
It does.
And in theory, it is crazy. But
once upon a time, the great Barry Bonds was walked with the bases loaded, and guess what? It was the right call then, too.
that's right.
And I'm not saying Soto's Barry Bonds, but he could have, with one swing of the bat, ended the game. It would have been over. If he hits a home run there, it's over.
Yeah.
And they got out of it with only one run, and we'll see how it plays out in the long term. But in that we had a text chain on the show, and I think all those that weighed in liked the move.
Yeah.
You can't argue against it.
Right field and catcher, they're getting absolutely nothing. And Brennan with 2 errors yesterday.
I think we've seen the last of Will, which is a shame. I like him.
Yeah.
I like
Good
him
kid.
a lot as a human
kid.
being. Can't put him out there.
I
he looks
got
a mess at the plate and in the field. What was that?
Yeah.